So hi there guys, how are we? Right, we're looking at increasing your lag angles and getting a better golf swing in this video. Now, there's a lot of information out there about lag, but what's the main reason? Why don't we have it? Why don't people have these incredible angles coming down where we can create that compression, that 12 to 15 degrees of shaft length? What is it? It's talent, right? Sorry, it's your talent level or lack of it. It's your skill level, right? You've got millions of golfers around the world coming in with this same position. It's just the way it is. Now, when you're looking at the great players, the really, really good players, right? They've all played junior golf, very talented, probably hit a couple of million golf balls with high skill levels. Hours and hours of beating on their craft, improving positions, normally because juniors are great imitators. Now, I'm going to show you in this video how to increase some angle in your wrist, but really to understand how your hands and wrists move is essential. All right, really, really important. Now, a lot of people suggest that lag comes from this position here and this position here in your foot, and it comes from your hands and your wrists, right? Now, if I'm going to hit a shot, just watch this. If I hit a shot, really don't move my body around much, you'll probably even see the lag, the angle coming down here. Just watch this, right? I'm just going to move just the arms really and the hands. My body's not going to do, anything really. Now just have a look at this. All right, now I've hit that about 150 yards with a 7-iron with just not much of a swing, right? But the angle of attack's healthy, right? The snap and the speed is created because of the hand and wrist motions and movements. Now, a lot of the time people sort of don't realize what actually happens with the hands and the wrists from both directions, how the hands will move from extension to flexion, how they rotate from cup to, and it's about understanding it because you need to be able to imitate to create, right? You need to break it down and go, all right, I'm going to get in there and, use, think, get some flow, get some snap, move my hands, improve my positions. The closer you get, the better you hit. Now, in this drill, on world-class golf instruction, right, and this is a very detailed platform. It's lines, geometry, evidence-based material. You're looking at biomechanics. There's 60 separate series. There's a lag and compression series of 20 videos. So if you're looking for just a quick video, it's not your place, right? If you really want to teach yourself with awesome information with the V1 app and drawing lines, this is the platform for you. It's pretty advanced, right? It's an advanced area. But when we look at this video here, and we're just looking at getting a feel to see, how we can just feel a little bit of changeover from one side to the other. Now, when you don't have lag, when this position becomes wider, that's what we're seeing a lot of the time, and we're seeing the club sort of scrape along the ground, fat shots, thin shots, not much shaft length, adding artificial loft, and on the other side, looking a bit stiff in the wrist here. It's an extremely difficult style to repeat. It's obviously not deliberate, but it's a disaster sort of waiting to happen. And when you play 18 holes, you're out there for 4 or 5 hours, and you're going to get found out, right? So if you're having a great Sunday 9 holes in the afternoon, hit a couple of shots on top of the semi-rough and the ball's teed up a few times and you hold a few putts and it's working, you'll have sometimes a good day. But if you're hitting from the driving range from that real tight grass, if you don't have any lag, you'll fat them and thin them, and you don't get as much fun, right? So let's have a look at this drill. All right, let's have a look at this. We go back, we've got our setup, the shaft and the left arm in one line, and when I get into impact, I'm going to have more shaft length. Now, tour average is around 12 to 15 degrees. You probably see my right knees come in a little bit, but you just get a feeling of the changeover. Now, if you just see my hands here, you keep it soft when you do it and just add a bit more, you'll see my hands and wrists adding that trail wrist, adding a bit of angle. And this is a great way to sort of get an understanding. If you can get that angle to move in your wrists, keep it soft, that's going to bring it in. And on the other side, the lead wrist snaps back in the other direction. You've still got your shaft length, but really this drill, when you get it right, you get that zip, whap, rip down the bottom, whatever word you want to use. I don't know what I was trying to say there, zip, whip, wrap, but get that down the bottom of your swing, and that's how you get that speed, that explosion. All right? So keeping the hands nice and soft, get back on this side, and it's almost like you're flicking a towel. You know, if you can get that angle to increase, that's how you'll get a bit more lag, compression, speed. Now that's what I'm saying on world-class golf instruction. It's extremely detailed series, and there's a lag and compression series that's extremely detailed. Check it out, and if you're after online lessons, I'm helping out people from all around the world, regardless of what level. I teach a lot of professionals and a lot of club golfers. So everyone, now let's have a quick look at some evidence-based material when we're looking at the best ball strikers, the guys that are absolutely ripping it. Now, when we have a look at the wrist alignments here, we're going to have a look at the lag, angle, and impact. I'm going to show you a couple of the club golfers. Now, the club golfers is, you know, there's about, if you are a club player, there's probably over a 90% chance you're going to be in some of the positions I'm going to show you. And we'll talk about the acceptable corridor, the acceptable boundaries here, so that you can press shots out, less fat shots, less thin shots. And you can do this with your mobile phone. Now, this is, you know, in the modern day world, we've tested everything with high-speed cameras. We've got, you know, biomechanics where we test shaft length. So we know some of the numbers here. So I'll take you through some of those. Now, guys, let's have a look. We're talking about improvement. Now, we want to improve here. Now, when we get down, the left hand gets underneath the chin from the middle of the left hand, you draw a line across to see where the shaft is. World-class golf instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied in helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of world-class golf instruction. Okay, now this is remarkable when you're looking at these players, these top players. There is a corridor here, and this is going to influence your angle of attack and how the contact is. Now, when I come down a little bit, I'll go down here into 10 degrees. All right, now you'll probably still see some advanced players with a little bit more lag than that, of course. I'll get into like 20 degrees here. All right, now outside of 20 degrees, it starts to get risky. It's when we start to hit fat shots and thin shots. So we're going to be seeing, have a look at some of the numbers. Isn't V1 just awesome? 30 degrees, right? And you start to see players into even more, into 40 degrees. And when we start to get into the higher the number, the more we start to touch the ground before we, you know, touch the golf ball. And when we hit it, we don't have a lot of shaft length. And so when you're looking at your averages here, you know, you're looking at your low point of the swing arc being around 4 inches in front of the ball before the club starts to ascend. So when you're looking at these players bringing this club down, you'll see that because of the angle and the shaft length, the club's in the air still here. It's not touching the ground. And then they hit that golf ball, and we can get in there, and with your mobile phones you can have a look at. There's about, you know, 16, 15 degrees of shaft length there from Adam Scott. Right, so up to 90 being 0. Just keep that in mind as we have a look at a couple of the other videos. Now these players are coming down. You see that the club head is still in the air. Right, it's not touching the grass, and then when they're hitting it, they're getting that compression out in front, and they're getting that shaft length. That's just after impact, so this one's going to have not as much, about 11 degrees, but it would have had more. It's just after he's hit it. Now you can get a gauge of when your left hand hits the wall here, and all sorts of other things I'm showing people on world-class golf instruction. But when we get back, let's have a look at a couple of club players now, because it's remarkable, really, how similar that club golfers swing. Like, it's just, they don't even know. There's millions of people around the world, and they're all in the same area, and they don't know. And they're trying all sorts of things and all sorts of videos, but when we have a look, you know, the proof's in the pudding. 47 degrees here, and that one's, you know, you're going to be scraping along the ground. There's no compression on it. And we'll go through a couple more here. Very, very similar positions when these guys are coming down. We'll get down so that left hand's, you know, underneath the chin here. I'll just have a look here. If we get across and we saw it at 0, the 20-degree area, you're probably around about here. And you can improve that. And that's the thing. You know, if you want to get yourself back inside sort of a corridor here, or put yourself in this position, you know, you're not going to be landing on the mat. See how that one's landing on the mat here? And, you know, when we're hitting it, we've almost got there, absolutely no shaft length, almost in the opposite direction, you know. And players finding themselves there, you know, in all sorts of trouble. Last one here, guys, as we come down, similar thing here. We're going to see this player here in the similar position at 42, and just hard to repeat. You know, it's going to plow into the ground. There's going to be thin shots, but really by staying on path and getting your hands on the right information. Now, world-class golf instruction has a series of advanced pitching series and the deep to shallow, I have to mention that, the deep to shallow swing style that's being created, and it's a much easier way to swing. There's a huge platform for all levels of golf. There's a massive area in the advanced area, advanced training and block shots and flip shots for advanced players. And so check that one out, guys. If you're after online lessons, check out CraigHansonGolf.com. Thanks for watching. And yeah, guys, we'll see you next time.